Welcome back to Just Some Perspective podcast. This is your host Mosh. I am joined once again by Sid. Siram, how are you, Sid?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
It's been a crazy week to say the least, sir.
Oh yeah,
Very crazy.
yeah. I mean,
As
despite all
of
that, I'm still doing well. So.
Good, amen. Very important. So
Mm.
today's September 12th, which
Yes,
means
it is.
obviously yesterday was September 11th, which is a 24-year anniversary, which is
Mhm.
mind-blowing to anyone who was alive at the time,
Yeah.
who was
Hey,
this young student.
let me ask you a question. Where
Yeah.
were you when you found out about that?
I was in seventh grade, and in middle school here in Coppell, Texas, and I heard it the very first time through some guy in between classes. That little period break. I was in a two-period class, and then in the middle of that, someone said,
Hmm.
"Hey, the World Trade Center got hit." I was like, "Wait, what's the World Trade Center, and what
Right,
happened?"
exactly. Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my God!" And then as next period announcement. Hello, students. We have to let everyone know that we had a major attack happen. Everyone be calm. Da, 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 da. And then people went to go to, many people went to go home after that. And all day was just talking about this in every class
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
sometimes turn on the news. It was insane. It never
Yeah.
will forget day.
I was in third grade when it happened. I remember I usually would ride the bus home from school. This was when I lived in Houston. Um, yeah, so it was yeah, I was in third grade. My mom picked me up from school though, instead of me riding the bus. So when she picked me up and my mom's like, the World Trade Center just crashed. I was like, What? Why? What
Mhm.
happened? I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know the severity of the situation. And then my mom turned on the TV and she showed me the news, and I was like, "Oh wow!" And I didn't really understand the seriousness of the situation. But
Yeah.
then, as years went by, I was like, "Oh, this is crazy." And then, like as we saw, like because the war on terror, war in Iraq, well, the
Yeah.
war in Iraq wasn't because of that, but it definitely, ripple effect, right? So I was just like, "Wow, that's."
Hmm.
Crazy. Something that happened because this was like 2, 3 years in advance. I was like, something that
Yes.
happened 3 years ago is still affecting what's happening now. But here's the thing. That was the most united any time that we've ever been.
Yes.
America has never been more united as a nation than in 9/11. It didn't matter what race, what religion, what political affiliation, like everyone stood together. That was crazy. That's
Yeah.
amazing. But it also sucks that it took such a tragedy to bring us all together.
Some that it's interesting how tragedy tends to do that.
Yeah.
It's usually it's a weird way of the universe. I don't know how to explain it, but typically when bad things happen that affect a large number of people, uh, the only
Hmm.
choice is to unite and like fight this bad thing, this
Exactly.
evil. And I mean it's your ultimate good versus evil thing, and any superhero story goes into that, right?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so anniversary just happened yesterday, 24 years ago, which is mind-blowing. It's
Yeah.
basically the most significant event in our lifetime, honestly, bar none. It's hard to compare if you're in the 35 and younger bracket like we are. And so yeah, our millennials we keep seeing the memes like we keep having our new
Excuse me.
historical thing because COVID was a huge thing, and obviously last time that was the last most significant event, I guess.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, this leads us to the next thing. A very sad situation this week, just the day before, on September
Yeah.
10th, which will never be forgotten either, for a bad reason. But may
Yeah.
he rest in peace. A political commentator, conservative pundit Charlie Kirk was unfortunately
Yeah.
assassinated, shot, and killed at the university campus of Utah while he was literally having his same uh, ask me anything or debate me on this, just a college conversation,
Right.
um, and that shook like social media to its core for sure. I saw it in the middle of my workday, just getting texts. I'm like, what? Oh my God, are you kidding me? And then
Yeah.
it's just changed my whole day like that. So, But I mean, it's we're gonna dive into that. But please, what's your quick reactions?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was very, yeah, like just like you, I was very shocked to see that because I've watched a few of his videos. Now here's the thing: there are certain things that I agreed with and certain things I didn't agree with that he said, but I did like the fact that he gave everybody a platform to speak. He would go, like you said, go to these college campuses and people who, they could have thought he was the biggest piece of shit in the world. He would allow them to come up and say, "Hey, F you, man, you're a piece of shit." And he'd be like, "Okay, that's fine. That's great. And why am I a
Hmm.
piece of shit?" And then like they would debate him. And the fact that, and then here's the thing. Like, let me just say this one thing. What he stood for was actually, if you think about it, was free speech because he allowed because no one else on either side, either political side, has given anyone that platform, the opposing side, a platform to
Hmm.
speak their truth. So,
That's a good point.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
he's very viral on social media for
yeah.
his
He
point of
also,
view
by
on
the way,
women.
CEO of Turning Point USA. That's his company.
Yes, Turning Point USA, and and what an apt name. Unfortunately, people are considering this a turning point in USA
Yeah,
history,
that is true.
um, which is not to make a pun of this situation, but um, yeah, it's first of all, this he is a young man who is a father of two and a husband, and he's simply a political commentator. He's not an actual politician,
Yeah.
right? Now he had a big impact on the most recent election of Trump getting elected, which I was happy about, and that had my support. And clearly, the election results show majority of people were voted for him.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it's really weird because he has a lot of support on in the videos and online by young people, and his target is young people, like much younger, like
Yeah,
college age and
exactly.
everything. And the people that debate him, it's they don't live in the same reality at all. And um, especially when they dress up as like dudes dressing up and putting dresses on, and guys in a satanic
Oh yeah.
costume, that really happened.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah, and bro, I don't know if I could ever have that level of patience. I am that's like a insane level because to not get emotional by the craziness you see in the world and just microphone is open to anyone and just trying to have a logical conversation, which by the way, he's proven one thing. You cannot have a rational, logical conversation with an emotional person,
True. That's
too
true.
emotional,
Yeah.
and everyone's emotional. And like if I'm really emotional, I don't care what your rationality is. Like if I, for example, men can be women, and I can identify as anything I want without having to prove what I'm the thing. Because why? Because I believe it. So there's no rationalizing with that person. There's no being logical. They
True.
threw logic out the door. They don't care.
Yeah. They just kind of like, yeah, like you said, they're just so full of emotion and like they're just seeing red at that point.
It's just
So
emotion.
they just
Yeah.
can't listen. So
One thing I hope people take away from Charlie even if you take away the political aspect, like he can remain calm and not be affected emotionally when the other
yeah.
person on the mic is being extremely emotional and hateful at the same time. And he's it's not that has no emotion, but and honestly, I'm working on like what we call triggers, what we call like getting triggered by things, but like we know what triggers us, and everyone has these things. It's like a mental health thing. But if we work on that and you don't allow yourself to get triggered and to
Hmm.
go into that emotional realm, then you actually remain poised, calm,
Yes.
and you're like in this level of authority that the other person cannot be because they're emotional, you know?
Yes. Yes.
So I huge respect for that. But okay, to set context, if it's not clear to audience, I am very center, if not uh center right now at this moment, right?
Yeah. about
And
the same.
I used to lean very far left, way eons ago. If I was one of those students, if they had that same show back in when we were in college, they would be like, "Yeah, go Obama, yeah, be a gay marriage." Da, da, da. I would be very much probably that way for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, now as you get older, times change, the life changes. A person who doesn't like update their beliefs, as they get
Yeah.
older, it's a
Yeah.
weird person because they're not growing as and maturing as much, you know?
It's funny. I was sorry, I have to say this. I was watching this as a stand-up comedy by Shane Gillis,
Okay.
and he was talking about how like as he's getting older, he's starting to get identify more and more with the beliefs of the right. He's like, I'm not a full-on Republican or anything, but I'm just like, yeah, they're right, and about certain things. And
Same here.
and on side note, by the way, his Trump impression is like spot on.
Top
Personally,
notch.
yeah, I do definitely have more right leanings, but at the end of the day, I very much am like anti-establishment. That's just me.
Okay.
I don't really trust either side, at least not anymore. Um,
And we're gonna get into
yeah,
that.
so
That's a great discussion as well. Regardless of politics, right? Like we do live in the United States, obviously,
we do.
and we know that there's 10 amendments, or if not more, of course. And what is the very first amendment?
Freedom of speech
Exactly, which means no matter what anyone says, they
or the right to
cannot
free speech. The right to free
you're right.
speech.
You
There
have
you
the
go.
right, the freedom of speech, no matter what it is. Now, you can say F the president. You can say F your mama. You can say, yeah, technically anything. Now, I think they define on certain platforms like, okay, if you're actually inciting violence, like, hey, everyone should go kill this guy. That is legitimately a illegal act. Okay, that's defined, right? And then so that's defined, and then that's illegal, and there's other illegal conversations that can be had. Yes, right. So which someone can be guilty of and face consequences. But that being said, you're pretty much free to say anything and everything you want. Now, it's not just this is unfortunately this political move is not just an assassination of one political figure. It's like a attack on literally entire Western values and American
Pretty
values
much.
of free speech, you
Yeah,
know?
because it's like okay, you can't, because you don't agree with the person, you're gonna shoot him in the neck, you know? And it's funny because I'll say this, because a lot of the criticisms that Charlie Kirk got, and actually I think everybody in the right they get, oh, F this guy, he's a fascist. The thing is, he got killed for exercising free speech. That right there itself
The,
is fascism.
which is like the
So
definition of
you're
fascism.
supporting, yeah, so in a way you're supporting fascism. So I mean,
It's
good job.
be, there's
Sorry.
so many ironies. There's so many
Yeah.
hypocrisies. I think that's the word.
Yeah,
Like
hypocrisies, ironies. Because
you
now,
can't
see,
claim.
yeah, because now, see,
Mhm.
sorry, I'll just say this. Charlie Kirk now is going to go down as a martyr. And here's the
He
thing.
is.
And if, let's just say that this attack was planned by the left, let's just say, if this was your strategy, then it's a very bad strategy because now we got the midterms, probably going to be a clean sweep for the Republicans. And
Oh
election,
man.
you're probably going to get JD Vance, who's most likely going to run for president. He's going to get a clean sweep. He's going to win by a landslide. So,
That's a great point. Okay, if we're not claiming that it is 100%
right,
some
there's a
on the left,
very high chance.
it certainly seems that way. Let's be
At least
honest. It
it seems
certainly
that way, yeah.
seems that way. Yeah, there's a
Mhm.
very good chance it is
Yes,
the case.
yes. My
If
apologies.
their goal, if let's just say that their goal is to like instill fear in the hearts of all political commentators, especially in the right, and so in order for them to lose power or whatever it is, they kind of it doesn't seem like it's going to accomplish that goal.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's going to
Very
do the opposite,
counteractive, yeah.
which sounds like it's only going to further the interest of this exact same message that Charlie Kirk had,
Yep.
create many more, and th th not only. Okay, this is the first assassination of basically a major political content creator, if we're being honest.
Yes, that is true.
That's
That's
never been happened before.
true.
Okay, has political has presidents been shot? Yes.
Yeah,
Is a sitting president, was he attempted assassination just last year? Yes.
twice, twice.
And the mainstream media tends to just like, what? No, that. And anyway, in next news, they don't care, right? Yeah, twice. So this is a new this is a we're like in a stepping in a new realm, and I really don't know what to expect, and I don't want to use these two words, which I know you know what I'm talking about, but if tensions, if this, it's like what is something that it's like it's an explosion about to happen. If I don't know if this is like the pin of the grenade, or
Yeah.
the thing that or maybe in Dark Knight Rises that we started the fire, kind of thing.
So yeah,
So
it's like like waiting for the last shoe to drop or whatever they say.
the like the match
For the
lighting
other shooters,
the
yeah.
yeah, the other shoe to drop, the match lighting the forest that causes a
Yeah,
fire.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like this but could very well be the match, for that major fire. And I don't want to see this country descend into actual utter chaos. But I'm sure both of us have seen a lot of video online, and we can certainly show some video on X
Right.
as well. But a lot of video, and people are fighting now at political rallies, um, and people are taking freedom of speech kind of too extremely, because yeah, you are free to say F whoever you want to, including the unfortunately a recently passed person who, was politically assassinated. That doesn't stop someone. You don't have freedom of consequence, if that makes sense.
Hmm. That's true, yeah.
Some guy got
Um,
beat up for doing that. Did you see?
who no, I did not see that. No.
This guy got beat up. This was like the night of the shooting, and it was a vigil, I believe, and
Oh,
he
okay.
was
Oh
going
yeah, yeah, I
around
saw that.
on
I
a
saw that.
scooter,
I saw that. I saw
and
that.
he just said "F Charlie Kirk," and man, he got
And
just
he got
seconds. He got beat up.
which
And what
also
the hell do you expect?
yeah, yeah, but also that I don't necessarily condone it, but also wrong place, wrong time.
Actions have consequences,
Yeah.
and and unfortunately, this uh there another politically charged event happened just before Charlie Kirk, which is really tragic as well, which is the sad murder of a young Ukrainian girl, Iryna.
Yeah, yeah.
And by a basically a multiply arrested, a man who's been arrested in multiple accounts and had been in jail multiple times, and
Yeah. And
he's
he was the
pleaded
man was
guilty.
the thing is like this the media they didn't cover it because it was a white woman getting killed by a
It's
black
not
man.
covered,
Now, of course, if
basically.
it was in the roles were reversed, the media would have been all over it, you
Yeah.
know? And that's just the sad state of affairs we have. And also, the thing that really upset me was the fact that there was a bunch of people there that could have stopped it, but they just
Oh my
let it
God, dude.
happen. Like, what I'm sorry, but
Mm.
what is wrong with you?
We live in the craziest timeline. I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it,
We
because
do
we live in bizarre world. We live in the Twilight Zone. We're literally becoming a Black Mirror episode.
pretty much.
And we live in a time where someone can get attacked on a bus, and everyone else on the bus is more
Yeah.
concerned
And the
about
worst
them.
part, see that girl, she was from Ukraine. She came to America because thought she would be safer here, and we failed her as a nation. So
Yeah,
congratulations, not
the
you.
Charlotte definitely failed to the city that it happened, and
Yeah.
people are talking about the policies themselves, like progressive policies, and allowing, certain people to ride buses or whatever
Hmm.
it
Yeah.
causes to happen.
Yeah.
Bro, it's this is there's a powder keg right now. Yeah, and
Powder keg. Yeah.
these events happening in subsequent
Subsequent.
order.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it makes me like worried about the future. It makes me worried about the future events and like going out in public and being around crowds of people now at anywhere. Like if this happens, you know.
Hmm.
So it makes me worried a little bit. But so a couple more things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, freedom of speech means nothing if you. Elon Musk said this. The freedom of speech means nothing if the people that you don't agree with and you don't like are not free to say what you don't agree with, which is
Exactly.
100% true. And okay, college students, let's just say this. When you're 21 years old, college student, you and a lot of these universities now, they're kind of echo chambers. Like we only believe this, and the world should be this way, and it's upon us to make the change of the world. Okay, as a former college student, I get it because I was like, yeah, legalize pot, man, and like that kind of thing. Sure, at that age, like that's all people
Yeah.
kind of do, right? Is party and whatever, and think the change is upon them to correct previous generations or whatever the hell it is. But like at the same time, they're not a college student is not privy to the actual real world of being a fully functional adult who takes care of themselves, who goes to work, who pays the taxes, pays the
Hmm.
bills, pays
Hmm.
rent, if it gets jobs and gets fired, gets hired, whatever. That's real life stuff. And they haven't done that, you know?
No, they haven't. They haven't. And
So I
so
feel like they don't even live in a real reality that most of us do. All adults, most adults
Mhm.
do, but you know?
Yeah, because it's almost like a selective reality that they live in, if I can use that word,
Exactly.
because it's like they only see so much, and then they just base their worldview based on the samples. The sample space isn't big enough.
Yeah.
That's it. When you're in college, your sample space isn't big enough, so you just base your worldviews on what you see around you.
Yeah. And okay, we I think it's very clear that humans tend to be the most politically charged in that age at that age range, which is
Yes.
between 18 and 22, 24, right?
Hmm.
And you have the most energy. You are willing to go to actual protests and you're willing to
Oh yeah.
go to the rallies. I'm not even gonna go to one. I'm not gonna bother. Look, bro, I got work tomorrow. You know, I don't
Mhm.
want to jeopardize my safety. Even if I do support something, like I'm not gonna like go out of my way to do that.
Yeah.
Um, which leads me to this. I don't want to cause divide, but divide is already here on all over social media, and it's people are very clearly divided on social media. It's all left versus right, and unfortunately, it is actual evidence based that the left is clearly more violent than the right, based on the actual attacks. There's evidence. We have
It
never I
is.
haven't seen evidence of like shootings or major, attacks by someone who's far right or considered super conservative at not even fraction compared to who's considered far
Right. Yeah.
left.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That is true because I mean that's the thing. Like they just want to do whatever it takes to get their point across, and even if it means taking someone's life, they don't. They just don't seem to care. Um, and that's the thing. I guess we were going to talk about this, but I think we can jump into it. But like the
Yeah.
fact that in social media, like they're divided on the death of another human being.
Oh yeah.
The fact that there were people laughing and cheering and celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, and I also saw other
Mhm.
people saying, "Oh, where's your outrage with this? Where's your outrage with that event?" And my outrage was because like all we can do is sit here and talk about it. That's my quote unquote outrage. I'm not even like outraged about it, but that's like the closest thing I have, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
No, it does.
that's what really just pissed me off is like people actually sitting there and cheering the death of Charlie Kirk just because you thought he was a fascist or xenophobe or whatever. And it's
Yeah.
funny. I will say this: I did talk to someone today, and they were like, "Yeah, and they admitted they said, yeah, in the beginning they were like when they heard that he died, they were like, good, F him," and then but then they stopped. They're like, what am I doing? I'm happy that someone died. No, like I didn't like the guy. I thought he was all this stuff, all the get your liberal terminology bingo card out, every single one of those words. Um, but I pray for his family. And that's what this is about, you know,
Yeah.
because if you his daughters and wife were in the audience
Mm.
watching their husband and father die. So
Good Lord. Yeah, dude.
so yeah,
It was
good
such a
good
bummer.
job. Celebrate. Good for you. I'm sorry. It just pissed me off, and that's why if I'm a little upset or a little excited,
No,
that's why. So
it's a very politically charged thing, dude. And holy shit, we could do a channel on just this topic, to be honest. But there's so much to cover.
just a whole
Um,
playlist.
just the political state of the world today, and
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
man, like okay, there's so many ways I can go with this, but we live in this world, number one, where uh I think people majority care about how it affects them, number one, and then they worry about how it affects society at large, number two, if at all, right? And then okay, let me use a sports analogy, okay?
Oh yeah.
If you support a team and they're playing an opposite your the opponent's team,
Hmm.
and the opponent's team, a player gets hurt or gets out, that only benefits your team, right? So many people would feel like that's good for my team, so I'm kind of happy about that. But that's not really it's not technically morally right to do that, you know, or
Yeah.
it doesn't put anyone in any good light to like you won't see people cheering in a game because the other team's
The other
player
guy
get
got
hurt,
injured. Yeah.
like because the whole crowd would turn on them ASAP, and they'd be like, you're out of your mind, like have some respect, how dare you. So it's lacking complete empathy to do that, right?
Hmm.
Now in public, you're not going to do that. If you see a player get hurt, you know, bow your head. You show some support. And to be honest, people cheer when not because he's hurt, but because he's okay. After they take him off the field, like, hey, good job, young man. Like, football is where it happens mostly. But
Right.
um, even if it benefits your team, if you see the political
I feel that. Yeah.
analogy, that you it does benefit your team in the game, but that doesn't mean you should be happy that another human on the player is injured, you know, just for the sake of that, right? You have some empathy as just a human being. You don't have to like them, you don't have to care about them, you don't have to respect or even agree with him at all, but he's a human being, you're a human being. Just have a little empathy as a human. That's all you anyone needs to do.
That's yeah.
And then that's sportsmanship. Then you move on, you continue the game.
Yeah. That is true. And now,
Does
granted,
that
like
make
I will
sense?
say, yeah, and that is true. And here's the thing, though, like there are, yeah, even though there are so many people that were like cheering his death, there were a lot of people on the left actually mourning. They were saying, "Oh my God, this isn't it." Like, there was one other like a content creator who was vehemently against Charlie Kirk, and he was all like, "Charlie Kirk sucks. You know, we need gun reform, we need gun control, all that stuff." And when he heard the news that Charlie Kirk shot, like it was on while he was streaming, and he started crying because he's like, "This is wrong. Like, yeah, I'm all for gun reform, but this is not how you know, bring it about. This isn't the way."
I'm
So,
gonna quickly share my
oh yeah, yeah,
screen,
absolutely. So,
and
and that's
I'm
the thing.
gonna
So there are good people out there,
yes.
even from both sides. So,
Well, okay, so yeah, let me
oh,
just
you've
show
been,
you some
you
posts here, right? Can you see?
yes.
Okay, so x.com. Okay, this is a very simple. Now it's all positive Charlie Kirk stuff. So yeah, this is a tweet by him: get married, have children, build a legacy, pass your values. This is his message. Everyone on the right or his supporters know that. And
Hmm.
essentially, whoever attacked him, or sorry, whoever assassinated him, they're not just assassinating him. They're also attacking the overall principles that he stands up for, which is this, ha- which is legitimately just simple conservative values that we've had for thousands of years as people.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
nothing. It's nothing. It's literally the opposite of extreme. It's the opposite of that. It's the most rational, reasonable thing you can imagine. Have build a family, build a legacy, pass values, pursue eternal. Yeah, of course, right? Um, this is a video of the Utah governor here.
Okay.
Can you hear him?
No, you have to. I think you got to share your sound.
Okay, I didn't share my sound yet. That's fine. But
That's okay.
he's talking about the reactions of Utah people there. Um, you know what I'm saying? And let me see. Uh, People are in support of Charlie, and like you're crazy to kill someone because because you don't agree with them. Um, Daily Wire, this guy Matt, who I respect a lot. Okay,
Matt Walsh. Yeah.
Charlie tried to have conversations with you on the left. You killed him. You're killing us in our churches. You try to kill our president. You celebrate Charlie's death. It's time for good to fight back evil. If I was, yeah, and it's hard to look at this from a third party, from like a you know what I'm saying? Like a bird's eye view, that not being on either side of this thing, but it looks like good versus evil to me, you know? And
Yeah.
and now conservatives look at it like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
And that's the
so,
thing though, like, because it's not about conservative versus liberal or Democrat versus Republican. It is good versus evil at this point.
yeah, and
So
actually this one, let me see if I can share my,
because
how do I?
because I'll tell you, because like I said, there were even people, there are still good people on the left who were actually having humanity and having empathy towards Charlie Kirk, even if they didn't agree with his values. You know, a lot of people thought he was a POS, and they said,
Yeah,
"Yeah, I didn't care for him, but like rest in peace." Because
share computer sound. There it is. Okay.
yeah, you got to share computer zone.
All right, so let me play. I'm getting the Zoom thing. Let me play this guy. See what you think.
Man, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, dog. Hey, Democrats, man, y'all cooked, bro. I'm talking about, man, I be looking at my news feeds, man. I posted that shit about black and white conservatives coming together. Man, I had Asians coming in that thing, Latinos coming in that thing. I even think I seen like an Armenian American or something. Blur. Listen, man, cooked, y'all cooked, extra crispy, no battery. It want to just start all the way over. Like,
It's looking
just
bad
go
for
ahead and
them.
sit out for
Extra
2 days,
crispy, baby.
please. Let the people get back, back where they want to be, and
Mm.
get that y'all snakes, and then y'all try to sneak back in. But as of right now, the Latino community, Asian community, black community, white community, fucking Armenian community. Dog, I
Yeah,
done had Filipino Americans in my inbox telling me they with it too. It's over.
it's looking really bad. And here's a
It
quick
is. Oh, it is.
example.
100%.
This is Charlie here.
Have a nice day. Let's have a conversation.
Just having a conversation.
No, 100%, guys. I'm not gonna press. Thank you. See, I'm not gonna. No, that's not. Hey, put it on mine. We gotta go shortly. I got.
So yeah, he was
Mm.
at, this was before, and someone tried to get his hat or something. A little bit of attack there, but um, I'll end with this. This is Matt Walsh, who I think he's very respected in the it's certainly in conservative circles and on social media, and I think he can't. It's hard to put it in better words than what he would
And
say.
some in the media, some of the very same people who intentionally stoked murderous hatred against people like Charlie Kirk and Charlie Kirk specifically, now saying that we need to turn down the temperature and start having conversations.
Wow.
Well, Charlie tried to have conversations with you on the left,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
and you killed him for it.
Yep.
You're killing us in our churches. You tried to kill our president.
Yeah.
You killed one of our greatest advocates in Charlie Kirk. You have been openly cheering for and celebrating and encouraging and committing political violence for years. Antifa, BLM, well-funded, highly orchestrated, widespread movements based in and fueled by violence. You made a hero out of Luigi Mangione. And you celebrate Charlie's death even now. It's too late to turn the temperature down. This is not a time to hold hands. It's a time for justice. This is a time for good to fight back against evil. It is time for the righteous to prevail for the
Mhm.
sake of our country and for our families and our children and for Charlie.
Yeah, so I'm gonna end it there. There's a lot. There's nonstop, as you can see,
Yeah.
content
Yeah.
about Charlie's on just on X. So much
Yeah,
that.
and that's the thing. Like that's what also gets us both, I think, so worried to see what's how is this going to manifest finally?
Exactly.
Because I don't know if tomorrow there's going to be a gang war out
That's the
right here in my
concern.
neighborhood. So
Exactly. This affects everyday people. This does affect
yeah,
everyone. Because like everyone has to go to work somewhere. Everyone's
yeah,
gotta maybe a lot of people go to church somewhere, and politics there's no escape from it. Within embedded in our lives now. And even in my
right.
job, they talk about it on meetings sometimes. Um, yeah, it's I wish it wasn't just a left versus right thing, but honestly, I believe it's bigger than that. I really believe it is good versus evil. I
It's
really
yeah,
think
it is absolutely. Because
there's
as I
actual
was
evil
saying,
forces.
there were good people left actually joining with the Republicans in mourning Charlie Kirk. So there's a
Hmm.
lot of people who actually don't agree with like the radical, like that's the thing though, the radical left, yeah, they're gonna ch cheer and celebrate and throw parties, but people who maybe have like more moderate leanings, like even the two of us who have more moderate leanings that are on the left, they came and said, no, this is bad and you
Hmm.
shouldn't be happy about it. And matter of fact, I even saw a post where someone says, I am officially leaving the Democratic Party
Hmm.
because of what these guys are doing. So, you know,
Yeah.
and also, by the way, another thing I have to say, I saw something else where someone said, "Oh, this is all a distraction for what we were talking about last time. This is all a distraction because they don't want to release the Epstein list."
Oh boy.
Really?
I don't want to get down that rabbit hole, but
Yeah, that's
I'll let Joe Rogan go cover that.
yeah, Joe Rogan is the. By the way, yeah, he actually reacted to Charlie Kirk's death on his last podcast. It was like it was
And
his
who was on his podcast when that happened?
Mr. Tiger Blood himself, Charlie Sheen, Mr. Winning.
What's his name? Charlie.
Charlie.
What a
Yeah.
fucking coincidence
Oh
of all
yeah,
the
yeah,
people.
yeah. Yeah.
Not to make light of that, but
And as he
what
was
the hell?
it's crazy. And as that's the thing, like he got the news as they were like recording. And I
Yeah,
think last 10 minutes they were just of that show was just talking about Charlie Kirk, talking about Mr.
yeah.
Kirk. So I mean, I don't
Okay.
know. Like I'm just
Okay. A couple of things. Okay. So if we can remove ourselves from American citizens who are either identified left, right, and middle, or whatever, as a human being, no one should actually celebrate the death of anyone. Now, okay, other exceptions like a vicious dictator like Stalin, Hitler going down and from an oppressive society, and maybe in that scenario, it's probably like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, right? But that's such a rare scenario that like you're in an oppressed state that your oppressive leader goes down, and we will. I pray we never have to relate to that here, but people may
No.
relate to that in other parts of the world. Okay, but in general, as just a normal human being, no one should appreciate or be happy at the death of any person
Absolutely not. Absolutely
because
not.
you're human. They're human, and it's tragic, especially if what I'm saying like is it's a kind of untimed thing. It's accident. It's violence. It's war related. It's politically related. It's not. We're not talking about like. Uh, old people on healthy old people on their deathbed, like
Yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
passing away naturally. You're not like that, right? But like this. So yeah, so I think people are forgetting maybe empathy is the right term. Like we are actually losing empathy as a not
Yeah.
just a left and right, as a society.
Yeah,
And if that video of the woman getting stabbed isn't evidence enough, I don't know what is, because the other
yeah,
people did not really react.
exactly. And here's the thing, that shows more about them than anything. Like, because when you have empathy, when you show compassion, when you forgive, that's more really for you than it is
Yes.
for that other person. That's more
Yeah.
for to nourish your soul and your, you know, and your heart and more than anything. Because like, I mean, speaking from experience, I've had to actually like just for myself, for my own sanity, I've had to forgive people when I felt like they did something wrong. I don't mean to go down this path, but I mean that's the thing. At the end of the day, like it's all about at the end of the day, like that just shows how much how miserable you are and how much hurt you have inside you. And honestly, as
Hmm.
much as yeah, the right and everybody is are angry at those people and are declaring war, me personally, I'm praying for them because at the end of the day, they're miserable and they're hurting and they're in pain, and I hope that they find the peace that they're looking for. So
Yeah.
that's all I have to say.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we I don't know what else to say, like, because it's everything is so political now that we can't even separate the politics from things. It has to be politically
Just
based, you
watch
know?
videos of dogs. That's all.
Dogs? Oh God. Even people are doing that with dogs too?
No,
Jesus.
no, no, they're not. But I'm just saying, just watch videos of dogs.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
like, if dogs get political, we're really in trouble.
yeah,
No, he's got to be sprayed, neutered, and 25 pounds and up to be considered, healthy. I don't know.
oh my God.
But anyway, so okay, so I think you've heard the latest news that the shooter apparently has been caught.
Yeah, yeah,
The headline was saying we're very like certain that this young guy is a young 21-year-old dude.
yeah,
Um, nothing significant looking, just a regular looking guy who claims to be who may be the shooter.
yeah,
Um, and unfortunately, man, the damage has been done, and obviously, I don't mean that in poor taste. Yes, the life has been taken. God rest, may his soul rest in peace, and prayers to the families and everyone affected. But like, it's not it's not just about killing one person. It is about causing chaos. It is about
mhm,
attacking ideals. It is about igniting these fumes of potential conflict within our own country, our own citizens. That's like a bigger thing. And that damage has for sure been done. And I pray it doesn't spill over. But this seems like a potential conduit, I guess, to a catalyst
a catalyst.
to
That's right.
like you know what I'm saying? Like I pray it's not the case, but like I don't know what this can't lead to anything good. It cannot,
No, unfortunately,
you
no,
know? So yeah, it's been a crazy week, man. And then 9/11 was the day after that. The
exactly. Yeah.
anniversary. So I was like, geez, what are we
And there
talking
was
about with
also apparently there was also like there was also a school shooting in Colorado too
oh my
around that
God.
time.
Yeah, man. And okay, while we're on that, not shootings, but the media, okay?
Yeah,
I think a lot of us who are not watching CNN or Fox or MSNBC or whatever, and we actually refer to social media more for actual
yeah,
news, I think we can agree that a lot of us that mainstream media can actually be trusted and they should not be actually considered reliable anymore.
yeah, because they're bought by either side. So they're just like, no, you are going to report on the news that we're going to pay you to report on.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. And you know what's funny? A person who only gets their news from the mainstream media, they cannot grasp this idea. They they cannot grasp that what they're being fed is not complete truth and complete factual. But they're getting it's just propaganda. Elon Musk said this, if you follow, and if there's anyone who's as if there's any billionaire that's even close to as based, it's got to be Elon Musk. I don't know how you can be more based than the guy who wants to go to Mars and
mhm,
and
mhm.
build a new society and like start and create billions of
Oh
dollars
yeah,
of in all these big companies like that. But um Yeah, I don't watch mainstream news. Mainstream news finds its way to social media, of course. You can see what
Oh
CNN
yeah.
said, Fox said, and no one is saying that the coverage is not correct. The coverage is correct because the shooting happened. And what is journalism, which I studied in college? You're simply covering the five W's: who, what, when, where, why, right? And potentially how, if that's there. But that's all journalism is supposed to be, right? And they're gonna get those details right because they're all reporting the same thing. Okay, we know who it happened to, where it happened, when it happened, uh, and definitely how it happened. But
Mhm.
I think the why is the big like
Yeah,
difference
it
maker,
always comes down to the why. It always
and
does.
that's our that's the thing that's dividing people. That's the
Hmm.
thing that's dividing, that separates, like, okay, I'm a very liberal person who gets only mainstream media, or I'm a very conservative person who maybe Fox News they consider, either way, Fox or CNN, they're still mainstream
CNN.
media. So
Yeah,
they're still, it's still propaganda. You're still getting propaganda of which
totally,
I've heard it
totally,
said that it's the propaganda arm of the capitalistic society, which we're part of.
totally.
And
Yeah.
since they're all like, you hit the nail on the head, right? They all are owned by corporations. And those corporations have shareholders and CEOs who lean a certain way politically,
Yeah. Because
which means
they have stock in those parties. So yeah.
if they want to promote specific propaganda that only benefits a certain side of a political agenda, don't you think that's all they would do?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Jeff Bezos, billionaires, Amazon, he's he has ownership of Huffington Post as well. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
And Huffington Post, and they lean a certain way as well, of course. But I think they're more reliable than a lot of the other mainstream.
Okay.
But they can't, Huffington New Post or whatever, they can't post anything without the big boss's sign off. So you're on if you're watching TV news, you're just getting what they mainstream media and major corporations want you to see, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that is true. That is very
Right?
true.
Which means, if anywhere, where can a person get actual unbiased news that reflects like the how people, the society, and people who are connected actually feel? Social media.
Now, even that, I'll tell you this, a lot of that because of the algorithm and because the powers that be see what kind of posts that you're liking or
Yeah.
repost or sharing or posting about. They will the feed will be tailor made to you.
Yes.
And they'll continue to feed you more and more articles. Like tomorrow, if you continue to say F Donald Trump, F Charlie Kirk, F all these guys, they will
True.
start feeding you more and more articles about, and it'll
Leftist.
convince you why you're right. So even social media is controlled, but more so because they're seeing
That's true.
where you're, going to leaning towards. There's actually a really good documentary called The Social Dilemma. It's on
Mm,
Netflix.
I think I've seen
It's
it. Yeah.
actually it is good. And for those and for your viewers or listeners who haven't seen it, it's actually it's a documentary created by a bunch of people who used to work for Pinterest, Instagram, uh, back when it was Twitter before Elon took it over, and many other social media platforms, and talking about how they use social media to, but by and large, control the masses. So
That's a
it's a very good documentary, very informational. Definitely check it out.
I wish we could talk about that in specifically for much more, because now the more I learn about it, social media is the tool to control the masses now. It is.
Yeah,
Um
it's our
to
matrix, basically. It's our
inform.
matrix. Yeah.
But what's funny? It's of our doing. It's of our creation.
Oh
Because
yeah. Oh no,
if you
it is.
simply, if you can't be controlled if you don't log in, if you don't
Hmm.
look at, if you're not part of this platform, you can't be. swayed or manipulated or whatever, or a certain way if you don't have access to platforms. And if everyone just logged off, there would be no social media.
Oh yeah.
It's probably never going to happen. I kind of wish it did, but we're not
Hmm.
going to go back to 1995, unfortunately. Um,
Wouldn't that
before
be nice?
before social media and everything, it's
Yeah.
we're just not going to
Yeah,
go back.
whoever's working on inventing time travel, y'all need to hurry up.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm just kidding.
Right.
So yeah, you're right. It's an algorithm. It's specifically algorithm based, and so it simply refeeds the algorithm based on the user's
Hmm.
preferences, the user's clicks and likes and retweets and all that stuff. So yeah, it does feed you. But that being said, you can freely look on all political sides of issues and
Oh
see
yeah.
simply the comments will tend to reflect what people are feeling, right? So I am happy to see majority positive stuff is what I'm seeing in
Same
light
here.
of the
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk news, right?
Same here.
And
The only time I saw like negative stuff or the ones where they're celebrating is because people who were in support of Charlie Kirk were like stitching those videos and saying
yeah,
you guys are pieces of trash. So go ahead. Go
absolutely.
ahead.
It's a very man. Uh, we cannot let the opinions of like such a small fraction of the society uh create, you know what I'm saying, like indicate the feelings of most regular
Hmm.
people, because that's what's happening. It's the loudest folks are the ones who are the extreme sides of the issues, but they don't reflect the majority. They don't.
Truly. That is true.
you know
Yeah.
and but people are swayed by these extreme concepts. And by the way, if Jordan Peterson has mentioned this many times on previous podcasts and everything, and lectures, that the extreme sides of different political views, they tend to sway the meter of where people are politically. It's based on those crazy loud folks on the extremes, right, that will sway the meter. But because like a true if you're a true liberal or a true conservative or whatever, or a true moderate, you're not going to be swayed much in elections. You are basically going to
No.
elect the same you're going to vote the same way, is what I mean.
Hmm.
Because it's a reflection of your fundamental beliefs and your fundamental values, right? And now, can those change over time? Yes, it has happened with me. I think it's happened with a lot of people. I hope it does, because that means you're growing as a person. But but most people, especially in your late adulthood life, you're probably not going to anymore. It's like, that's it. I'm only this party aligns with my values, and I'm not gonna be swayed, right? But the folks on these extremes that are like, unfortunately, this person that did this act, their goal is to try to swing to move that meter the other way. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what it is. Like, their goal is to move the meter so that it could reflect in the next upcoming political, like,
Yeah.
elections.
By the way, quick thing about the shooter, like from what I saw, his dad was the one who turned him in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yep.
Okay. That's a tough one, but I think we can all agree that the father did the right job. If in fact that is really
Yeah.
him, and that is, that is really his son that was the guy. So yeah, that's a tough position to be in, to be a
For
parent to
sure.
a person like that, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no escaping this news, as you can see. I don't try to be too political, but we live in a time where you kind of, if you're a celebrity, did you notice that you can't escape not having a political opinion now?
Yeah, because you live in a glass house. Celebrities
Yeah,
live in a glass house, so they have to, because like everything is out there at this point. So,
social media.
hmm.
Yeah, and man, this is a future thing, but I really think less social media is better, and I think that people should honestly post as least amount as possible, unless it's specifically based on, like, It's specifically regarding a business or a brand or some kind of a, you know what
Hmm.
I'm saying, content creation goal for that reason. But I'm not gonna be going around posting kid photos of my kid all the time when I
No.
become father or like I find it crazy the people who do because this is more of a spiritual thing, but like you're kind of opening the doors of like some kind of negative energy or
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
spiritual stuff that
Yeah.
could affect the
The
whoever you
baby.
post
Yeah.
online. Do you
Yeah. And
think
the
so?
baby. Yes. For sure, because it's like they can, like you don't know who's really like, actually jealous of you and actually saying, oh,
Exactly.
why not, why them and why not me? And, there are a lot of people who have evil eye, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because one of my great aunt, like she used to post a lot of pictures of her granddaughter, and my mom's like, you need to stop that. And
Yeah.
I think she stopped because she usually used to do it on Facebook, and I'm rarely on Facebook, so I don't know. Um, but I think, but that it definitely like it has reduced completely, because you don't know who's out there watching.
Yes.
So, not just the evil eye people, like bad people who
Yep.
I don't want to say it, but I think you know what I'm talking about.
There's evil people out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is important like to keep our kids safeguarded. Now, yeah, sure, if you're married and your wife is pregnant, whatever. But
This leads me
even
to
then, I don't know about that. Even
no, no, no.
then,
Yeah. Let's touch on that in a second. Okay, so thank you. This kind of a light bulb just went off, right?
mhm.
Okay, religion has been around, has been part of world for thousands of years. Okay, and the most youngest biggest religion is of Islam is like a 1500 years old, 1400 years old. That's the most recent biggest religion. Okay, there's
Yes.
technically a huge amount of tiny religions that are like popping up all
Yeah.
the time,
Oh
like
yeah.
just
Oh yeah.
random stuff
It
that nobody
is.
would know, like
It
fringe
is.
stuff, you know.
Yes.
But there's only like five or six major world religions, right? Getting to the millions and the billions, right? So I just thought like if you don't subscribe to a major religion or religious view, what fills that hole? And from what I'm seeing, this ideology, like that we're seeing of like wokeness and woke ideology and um like there's not even like there's not even admittance of good and evil anymore. It's just like there's no more concept of this. Like your reality can be whatever you want it to be because if people don't accept other people outside of you don't accept your own individual reality, then
Yeah.
they're the bad ones. The fuck? What are you talking about? Like,
No.
I
Yeah.
can't be a dog or or a bird or a fish as much as the next person, a human being, right? I
Right.
can't. Just because I say I am doesn't mean anyone has to accept that or say that, right? So, do you see my point? Like when you
I
don't
do.
have some kind of value, major belief system, like these major religions, which I'm happy to say I'm Muslim, and
Yeah. I'm
and
Hindu, so.
I'm grateful, and yeah, and you have your beliefs as well. So I can't imagine living life not believing in anything.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, the universe just randomly appeared. There's no reason for shit. I can believe whatever the hell I want for no
Yeah.
reason. Really? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's almost like I mean, I get it. Yeah, you want to be like, you have like the rebellious phase or whatever, but I think when people like really take that stuff to heart and, when they're because it's like, well, let's just say, because it's Christianity morally, but like when, because it's not cool to say Jesus Christ is Lord or, Allah is God or for me, Vishnu or Shiva, whoever.
Yeah.
It's just not cool anymore because even it doesn't. It's not just in America, even in like other countries. Because I see even in India, because a lot of people, it's just not like it's
Wow.
it's almost like a cool thing to go against religion, go against like a certain religion, and it's like
That's crazy.
why, why, and the funny
That
part
tells
of it,
me these are lost for a religious person. That tells me the ones who are bashing religions or religious ideals in general, even
yeah,
if they're not a part of one, that tells me that's a lost soul. Like you're a lost soul, and you don't have any guidance. You have no like spiritual, uh, yeah, guidance and direction. You know,
Hmm. Yeah, you don't have, yeah, you just don't have you just don't have a purpose.
purpose.
You don't have a purpose. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I was thinking about it, and I was just like, life doesn't even make sense. I can't imagine not being a believer of my religion. Like, because I am for sure born and raised, and I'm very grateful for. And quite literally, my last name is a very important religious, like, a Muslim thing because it's my last name is Rahman, but the actual translation means merciful. And in the
Right.
beginning words of the Quran, it says Bismillah Rahman Rahim, which means in the name of God, the most merciful, the most generous. And that my last name is in those words. You see my point? So it's
Yeah.
very meaningful. It has a
Yes.
lot of meaning, and I'm like, damn. And the older I get, the more I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, that this is really substantial. It's not to be taken lightly or whatever.
Yeah. And
So
also for those who don't know, so like my first, I don't know if people can see it when this video comes out, but like my first name is Siddharth, and Siddharth actually it was originally the name of Buddha.
yeah.
The or Buddha as white people say it. But like his original name was Siddhartha, who was a prince who
Yes.
actually is funny. We were talking about like echo chambers and stuff. He grew up in an echo chamber pretty much. And then because like pretty much built a huge castle around him and pretty much just gave him everything he ever wanted. But finally, one day when he went to the outside world, he saw that, to quote Rocky Balboa, the world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. And finally, he
Yeah.
decided to leave his all of his worldly possessions and seek enlightenment under what was called the Bodhi tree, Bodhi, Bodhi tree. So he became the Buddha after that. That's
Yeah.
the story.
And
So my
and
name
by
is
the
literally the Buddha. So
and your this religion, dude, dates back thousands of years, if
yeah,
not the
one of the
earliest
oldest.
of
Yeah,
human history. That
yeah,
4,000 plus years at least. So
something
like
like that.
it
Yeah,
has to be respected in globally, right?
correct.
And
Yes.
uh and there's in Islam there's like a billion people followers, so that has to be respected too. It's like one of the largest religions of the whole world,
Hmm.
right? Christianity there, Judaism, maybe to a lesser extent, but and then, am I missing any besides those?
That's about
Yeah,
it, really.
some Judaism, Christianity, and Judaism, Christianity, and Islam actually share a lot of beliefs. Which is, first of all, it's monotheistic, so there's only they
Hmm.
believe the belief of one God, and then it kind of like, not to get religious here, but then it becomes the differences, right? Some believe this is the messenger of God, some believe this is the Son, or this is God Himself, being Jesus, right?
Hmm.
So that's where it separates. But they come from a very similar. That's
Yeah,
why is Israel and the
yeah, yeah,
Middle
yeah,
East is
yeah,
such a very important time area for like all these religions. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Mhm.
So, but yeah, that's not to say like that I'm here to
Yeah,
promote that
that's for
this
another podcast. We
religion.
can talk about religion and stuff.
Yeah, but so if we didn't bel were grew up with these values, can you imagine? Like, I don't even, how do you determine what's right and wrong? How do you determine what's
Uh,
good and evil? Do you see my
right.
point? If there's no like uh,
Like a baseline.
if there's not a baseline understanding of killing someone's wrong, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit murder, or blah 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 blah.
Or
Like
adultery. Yeah.
these are actual Ten Commandment things, right? These go back so long. So if there's not a baseline of morality, bro, what the hell is good and evil now? Like it's all within the
Yeah, I don't
figment of your
know.
imagination. There's no, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? How do you define it now?
Now it's just like, oh, I don't. I just whatever I decide to be good and evil is what it is.
Yeah.
And the good people are the ones who agree with me, and the evil people are the ones who don't. And that's not a way to live, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, this is what wokeness is sharing. This is exactly
Yeah,
what they're doing, is saying that
sadly.
because I identify as anything and anyone, I therefore the world should view me and treat me of such, so that my internal reality should reflect the external world. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
I'm Bruce Wayne in here, but like, are you calling me Batman? Like, come on, bro.
No. Yeah, that sucks. By the way, speaking of that,
Yeah,
so I think I was talking to you about this before we recorded, but like DC Comics was going to start a new series for the Red Hood. But by the way, that's my favorite Robin, Jason Todd. But apparently, the writer of that series had some things to say about the Charlie Kirk incident, and they have officially pulled it off all the shelves because of
good.
that. Yeah. DC
Okay.
Comics pulled it off the shelf. They said, "Look, remove it. We're discontinuing that story."
Yeah, and
That's
this is a
you know, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So,
yes, and this is a technically a darker character and who does delve in darkness and death in vi for sure violence. Like this is that character, right? And he has a his moral compass is more ambiguous
moral
than like an actual
moral
Batman
code.
and
Yeah, I
moral
mean, he
code,
has a
right?
moral
So
code, but yeah, how he
it's quite
decides
more
to.
ambiguous compared to a actual Batman. Yeah.
I mean, he's not. I wouldn't say ambiguous. I'd say definitely a little bit more extreme because he literally says, "Look, I'm going to take someone's life if
He
they're
doesn't
bad."
care about killing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but I don't know. He's always intrigued me, and he's always been my favorite Robin. So
He's a beast. He's a badass. Yeah. Um, so yeah, man. Good and evil. Okay.
right.
To put it simply, if human beings can't agree on good and evil, we are screwed for
Hmm.
sure.
Hmm.
Because like if it's just up to if it's just up for debate forever, bro, this is when crime is gonna keep murders will happen,
Yeah.
assassinations will keep happening,
Yeah.
political unrest will happen. Like you have to define it. You know what I'm saying? That's our law and order. Our whole society is literally standing upon the pillars of law and order. And that law and order is built on ideals and beliefs that are stemmed from thousands of years in the past, which just means we have defined good and evil, and therefore law and order should reflect that. Is it perfect? No. Is this
No.
areas of improvement? Yes. But like we know it's not. We know it's never morally acceptable to kill another human being ever, even accidentally. That's called manslaughter. Even if you kill
Exactly.
someone in your car accidentally, it's still called manslaughter, and you're still the person behind the wheel is still liable for that,
Hmm.
no matter how accidental it was. It's a human life, right? So
Right.
we if it's coming down to that, we have to it doesn't we have to take a stance, and none of us should ever even consider evil, so it's going to be good no matter what, right?
Right.
And if you look at the political eye in the political spectrum, clearly the right is looks like the good in this scenario.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
At
yeah,
least
I
like the
just want
ones that are more skewing towards the right. Not, I mean, I think like right extremists, maybe they're a little bit more out there,
extremists as
but
always, yeah,
yeah, but yeah,
always.
extremes on both sides. Like you said earlier. Yeah, they're definitely a little bit more out there and not
They're
those,
called
but
extreme
people who
for a
are
reason. Yeah,
right. So when you have
extremes should
people,
never be considered
mhm,
the overall like it's kind of like
the
in math
baseline again.
the baseline, the overall average. It's that the thing that we learned in school a long time ago, the mean, the average, the median, the mode. You know
Right,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? And so
Yeah.
like when there's an average number, there's highest and lowest, and then you
Hmm.
add it up, and that's where you find the
True,
average.
true. Yeah,
So
yeah.
we never consider the highest number or the lowest number. It's just what's the average.
Exactly. So yeah, but I do see where I do see your point. A lot more the right seems to be getting a lot more hit by the left. So it's like, hey, you guys fired the first shot. So we're just gonna retaliate.
Yeah. Okay,
So
last thing. I don't want to use these words, but you know exactly the words I'm thinking of. Uh 1885.
right.
1865, I should say.
Right.
So, you know what's funny, dude? This is people terms people are saying, civil slash war.
Uh,
But
Marvel
you know the
comics.
you know the whole idea
Sorry.
of that, it doesn't make sense. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it, you're calling it a war in within a state civil. There's nothing civil about it. You know what I'm
There's nothing
saying?
civil about war. Yeah.
It's there's nothing civil about war, but especially here, a war within the state, not a foreign entity, a foreign state, right?
Hmm.
So why do we even say it that?
Yeah, it's a I don't
Why
know.
do we call it civil? You know
I
what I'm
have
saying?
no idea. That's a great question. That's a
Because
great question.
there
Where it
is
comes
something
from.
civil war. There's a saying, "All is fair in love and war," but like that's really hardcore. Because like
Yeah.
death and destruction of many people, I wouldn't call that fair or just at all. But um, the term civil war, it just doesn't make sense. Like maybe it just sounds better than interstate war or like
Yeah. Internal war.
internal war. That sounds dumb. Like who we're
Yeah.
having an internal war. Like
Well, that's the
what?
thing, because people say they have an internal battle, and usually that talks about like, up here. So
Individual person. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know. I
yeah.
don't know. I guess like you said, it's a for lack of a better word, a marketing terminology.
It's weird, right? When you think
It's
about
yeah,
it.
it's like you said, it's propaganda. So,
Hmm.
you know,
I was just like, wait a minute, why the hell do we even call it that? Like, it's just like freaking civil about this.
yeah, it's
So
crazy.
yeah, but yeah, with that being said, I look, I pray for the nation. I pray for our
Yes.
society. I pray for people,
Yes.
and that doesn't mean on one side or the other. I pray for everyone, because I don't I don't want to see loss of life anywhere at all.
No.
And by that I mean like politically charged, actual pre um, predetermined murder. I don't. Nobody wants to see this or violence,
No.
right? Now we're not saying that death doesn't exist and accidents don't happen and sickness doesn't occur. We're not saying that. Obviously, that happens, but
No. No.
we're talking about strictly in this context of political violence and potential global conflict and that kind of shit. We don't want that, bro. That's a really
No.
dark area that
No. Yeah.
we could be heading.
Exactly.
So I just pray that we don't go into that dark area, but I just fear, and as you saw on X and a lot of social media is right-leaning social media is like is kind of reflecting this like, hey man, this could be the shot heard around the world. This could be that the match that lights the fire and leads to something really bad and globally. So essentially the government,
Or
like
the straw that breaks the camel's back,
the
whatever.
straw that breaks the camel's back. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so like action needs to happen. And now to president's credit, Trump, he very much that same night he made a nationwide address, said this is bad, this is not okay, and we need to take control
Hmm.
and we need to remember and we need to only focus on ideals that bring us together, which I think a rational person would agree.
Right.
If you hate him because you're super left or whatever it is, fine, you hate him. You can hate him and still agree with the message, you know?
Yeah.
People a lot of people don't realize that. Like
Yeah. And
I don't like someone, but I can agree with what they say.
exactly. And also, I've seen people who like voted for the guy and don't agree with some things that he did. It's
100%.
called having your own opinion. It's called having a free
Rationality. Be
rationality.
rational.
Yeah, exactly. So it's called
Yeah.
thinking for yourself and not just blindly following somebody just because you voted for him.
And you know what? I hate to say, recently I had a bit of a political debate with a older family member, but not by my own choosing, if you will. It's like the conversation ended there, but I wasn't taking us there, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I was having a conversation about actual like scientific like based stuff, which like the birth rate crisis, which we
Hmm.
have actual data and numbers about. And then suddenly my family members like, no, this is a political thing. I was like, I
Ow.
never said that politically. And now we're actually going back and forth because I didn't realize like I need to actually just not respond because it's never going to end because we're uh because they feel the need to share their political views of and beliefs of whatever it is. Now my mindset, it's completely opposite. My views is completely the reverse. So I rebuttal with my views, but then it's never gonna be accepted by the
Yeah.
opposing political side anyway. So we're just going back and forth for no reason. But I started with like a
Yeah.
non-political thing. You see my point?
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, and at that point you're at an impasse. So
100%.
really no point. But yeah, and that's
100%.
why I don't
So
usually discuss politics with people who I don't really agree with,
yeah.
because I'm not going to change your mind and you're not going to change my mind. So,
There's no changing minds, man. For sure, bro. And non-political, you know what's a good example? Work exercise.
yeah,
Someone who's doesn't take their health themselves seriously, no amount of like promoting health and exercise to them really, I don't think it's gonna matter because that's your decision to take
exactly. At
the
the end of the day, yes.
health, right? I can't
Yeah.
I can't make you diet. I can't make you follow a workout routine.
No,
You, no, no one can, right? So I think that's our best non-political example of you can't change anyone's minds there.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, well, we can wrap this up here. I think we our time
sure.
is a bit crunch here, but thank you for joining, Sid. Uh,
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to any of the voiceover work you might be
Oh,
doing.
yeah.
Look
Yep.
forward to
Yep.
hearing
I will.
that.
Yes, absolutely. I'll share that with you for sure.
Yeah, yeah, it's great to have you back on, man. If you happen to know anyone in this area that may want to be engaged in any podcast discussion, whether it's political or not, feel free to connect me. I'd love to get in touch with them and to have that discussion too.
Hmm.
But it's safe to say you and me can have political discussions very calmly and
So
like
easily, yeah, for sure.
easily, and not only because we're more aligned politically, but because like we see like the bigger picture, and we can debate without getting emotional or getting personal. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah,
Which, by the way, people, Charlie Kirk did exactly that. He
he
exactly
did.
did that. He had very calm, rational debates with everyone, including the mentally insane, by the way, in college campuses with
Yeah,
just words, and that's it. And they still put a bullet in him. So, yeah,
yeah,
if that doesn't speak of the political climate we live in, I don't know what
yeah.
does.
I mean,
So,
anyway, yep.
yeah,
Well, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, and I pray for his family.
rest in
Uh,
peace, Charlie Kirk.
that's really all I can say at this point.
Amen. Yes, sir. Okay, I'll let you go, Sid. Thank you for joining us.
Sure, anytime.
If you like this episode, please hit the like button and subscribe for more. And again, this is Mosh. And remember, as always, it's just a little perspective. Peace.